There's so much beauty all around. And there's actually not that much people. And it's so nice to see people in love. So admittedly, these are one of those days where it's kind of hard to get that Instagram-worthy shot when everyone is like forming a line to get to the rocks. We even saw a girl fall in the water. So yeah, I think I'll just stay up here, but there she is. Okay, I changed my mind. Maybe I am gonna give it a try. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's almost my turn. And they make it look so easy. Just for one shot. And I'm not even recording anything. It's like, oh god, yeah, okay. I think the getting there and the off there was like the whole point. And then everyone is staring at you. And then of course, imagine you're like a fashion blogger and you come in your like really fancy outfit and then you strike a pose and be like, that would be so awkward because everyone is staring at you. Crazy. Now that was better. At the Little Mermaid statue, there were so many people hovering, but that fountain for me was a lot more beautiful. Well, again, it's all a matter of opinion, and because of its cultural or historical relevance, we certainly don't have fountains like that where I come from. Not to say that we're not civilized, it just means that, again, difference in culture. So statues and fountains as beautiful and grand as that is always something so delightful to see coming from a tourist. And now we're walking to the canal, which is that famous postcard with all those colorful houses. And you can see, because that's where all the people are, take a look ahead. The streets are pretty empty, but there it's starting to get full. This is the famous canal where you see on Pinterest, on Instagram, where all the colorful houses with the restaurants and bars, and it's just so lively. You can even take a boat along the canal. You can even raft if you want. Or you can just hang out, have a cigarette, have some coffee, and just people watch. There you go. There's like pop-up stores. There's just it's a really hipster food court. They've transformed like this giant warehouse where people can order food, shop, and just have a lot of fun. Now the question is, it is expensive. I have to admit, my favorite thing in the whole world is vintage shopping. Oh. So want to shop, but I shouldn't. It's only the third day of the trip, or the fourth, so I must control. But at least I'm having some Bibimbap, vegetarian. There we go. so bad because I was looking all around for something healthy, and it was only after I had my Korean rice, where I'm stuffed silly, I found my sister had told me about the avocado roll, but who cares? I still need to have it, so let's see how it tastes. It's actually closing time. We made it, apparently we can't enter the rooms anymore, but at least we were still able to enter the courtyard and the garden of the Parliament. I wonder what it looks like when it's really bloomed in spring with all the flowers and all the lush greens. But nonetheless, just to be able to enter this place for free, it's pretty awesome. And there she is. And then right behind me, this open area right here, these are the royal stables. So these are where all the horses just roam about. Well, apparently they couldn't make it today. So right behind me is Tivoli. And the last time that I came here, I was about, well, 12 years old. That was the same trip when I went to Sweden with my parents. And unfortunately, it's closed. And it's going to be open in March 6th. And by the time that happens, we're going to be gone. And while Disneyland is a place where all your dreams come true, Tivoli is the very first carnival in the world. From the tour that fruits like bananas, strawberries, lemons, these were all such premium delicacies because they were all had to be imported from southern Europe. So these were served to the guests as a way to impress them of how worldly they were, at least the monarch was. The fruits that we take for granted today, especially for me, like the banana, but lemons though, lemons I love. Okay, so I realized one hall is for the savory food, and this hall is for, you know me, my favorite, carbs. Bread, more bread, and dessert.
In life, you must always eat ice cream, even when it's cold. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Even if it's before dinner time, I just had to try because the flavor is caramelized fig, and I love figs, dried, fresh, it doesn't matter. And to have it in ice cream. It's so good. It's even a little kind of burnt, kind of like burnt sugar, but in a really good way. It's actually not very sweet. And this is apple and strawberry. So why don't we get a little bit of both? It kind of looks, it kind of has a sorbet in texture. Very tart. No. Yes, it's very tart. So it's really up to you if you want something tart or something really rich and creamy, or you can have both. It doesn't matter. It's a win-win for me.
Okay, so it's one of two things. Either when you go to places like this, food halls, food courts, food anything, food meccas, you're either so tempted to eat because everything just looks so appetizing, or because you keep on looking at everything, you've stuffed yourself silly just by looking. So I kind of did a bit of both, where I wanted to eat, but I had ice cream, and now I'm full, and I'm good. So right behind me you can see that is the round tower, and you're actually gonna walk by it when you are on the walking street. And as it said, obviously there's no cars, there are bikes, and here there's so many shops, specialty stores, cafes, fresh flowers, pretty much anything you can shop for, you'll find it here. It's one of those things where, you know, even if you're not really buying anything, sometimes it's just nice to take a look at, right? Okay, so apparently I think we're going to ride a rickshaw. One great, more intimate way to see the city. All right, here we go. When you're done with walking, it's time for the rickshaw. It's like nature's way of having a really cool air conditioning or fan, while there's still good light for the camera.
What is thank you in Danish? Tak. Magatak.
Tak.
Tak.
That's
And
all
thank
we
you.
need to know. And here we go. Thank you so much. Free?
What is it?
He doesn't know free. How convenient. Thank you very much. And before the sun sets, what a great way to cap this day than to have a meal in the famous canal, which is Nyhavn. Had to learn that ever so quickly to make sure that I got that right. So the best touristy thing, at least I would like to do, is choose a cafe or a restaurant that is named after this famous canal. Now this canal actually had a lot of sailors many years ago, where they would come by, and my sister and my daughter are like trying to whisper, they're like trying to eat. Let me just show you what we ordered. All right. I'll show you guys a close-up right here. So basically they're like open-faced sandwiches, or like really big bruschetta, and there's it's called smørrebrød.
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 Brød.
Smørrebrød. Smørrebrød. Okay, so we have the marinated herring, we have the old cheese, and really want to try that, shrimp on toast.
Shrimp toast.
Shrimp toast. Okay guys, I'm really hungry. It's time to have a cocktail. Bon appetit. Okay, the one video, the one photo I forgot to take is probably one of the most important ones. See? It's time. And right behind me is the statue of Hans Christian Andersen, and behind me again is Hans Christian Andersen Avenue, and that's Tivoli right there. So who is Hans Christian Andersen? Apart from the Little Mermaid statue that you guys saw by the bay, he is responsible for writing stories like The Little Mermaid, but with a different ending. And that's why Disney has made them into happier endings. Is that correct? Much happier. Just like our trip here to Copenhagen. Much happier. Okay guys, it's been swell. Good night!